So you're going to get a family restaurant. You got to go get some capital. You've got to get a location. You got to get signage, tables, chairs, ovens, napkins. You got to hire personnel. You got to have working capital. You got to buy your food. You got to get some money together to start this restaurant. So let's say we're going to go out and we're going to get $500,000. Okay. Now, when you get this capital, and this is traditional business, you have just got 2 new best friends. These guys are going to be with you all the time. They're never leaving you. They're going to go to sleep with you at night. They're going to go to the movies with you. They're going to be everywhere. These 2 new best friends are interest and the threat of default. All right? They're always going to be there. You got that loan. You're going to be, every dime you make, you're going to, profit's going to be hard because you're feeding that interest monster. And you could be 2 years into working your butt off and they could take that thing away from you. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's what it looks like in traditional business, right? Now, to get a loan like that these days, it used to be you could get loans, but after the crash back in like 2009, it's been harder to get loans. Most people don't, the money, the education experience, it really limits the people where that's an option. They can go get that loan to start that business like that. Now, what does it look like working hours-wise? I mean, if you start, I don't know how many of you have been in that business, but I've talked to people that are, and it's brutal. I mean, you get up, maybe get up at 4 a.m. because you got to get up and warm up the ovens and open the doors and turn on the lights and get the breakfast ready. And you got to serve the breakfast, and then you're going to clean up, and you're going to get lunch ready, and you're going to serve lunch. You're going to clean up. Then you got to do your inventory in there somewhere. You got to do with your HR issues and disputes and hiring, and the kids didn't show up on time. And then you've got to serve the dinner, and you've got to then clean up after that. You've got to do your books, and then you're going to go to bed about 2 a.m. Does that sound about right for you guys that are in the industry? All right. So somewhere in there. So I mean, you're talking, and I'm going to be easy here, very conservative, and saying, you're putting in 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, and that's 105 hours a week. So I'm not saying you shouldn't do it or couldn't do it. I'm just saying that's what it looks like. Okay. So a lot of hours. What about vacation? So on vacation, I mean, who are you going to get? Do you trust enough to run? I mean, interest and default and that loan are not going to let you leave. And by the time when you start that business, you don't have the money to hire a manager that you can leave and you trust yet. It's you, right? It's you. It's your family. So vacation, that's not happening. That's not happening for a while. Okay, and that's traditional business. Now, again, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but that's what it looks like. So let's maybe compare that. Oh yeah, sleep. Let's talk about sleep. Now we were talking about you get up at 4 a.m. and you go to bed at 2 a.m., right? Do you have 2 hours of sleep in there somewhere? I mean, it's just not really going to happen. Okay? So now let's compare that to a Jeunesse business. This is why our industry is so awesome, and why, if you're going to be in this industry, you do it with Jeunesse because we're the best company in the industry. So now I'm going to say it's going to cost you some money to start a business, because let's be realistic. Are you starting a business? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to make a lot of money?
Yeah.
Is that going to happen without putting money into it? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to use big numbers here. I'm just going to say, let's talk about, you get your ambassador pack, and you can get product every month, so you can stay active, and you got to do a little bit of travel, and you got to work a business, right? So I'm going to say anywhere between $25,000 and $5,000. Now, if somebody said, hey, I want to introduce you to a business opportunity, you're going to be able to make all this money, and you only have to put in $1, you're going to say, that sounds a little too good to be true, right? Now, you can start there. But if you really want to grow it, you're going to have to put some more in, or it's not. Is it really a business, right? So I'm going to use that number. So you can do it for less, but let me, one of the things I've noticed as I've gone along is you can go out, you can bring people in, with, say, a $150 pack, or you can do a $1,500 type of ambassador pack, and if they only have, so much, then great, that's fine. But don't miss out on the people that really want a business on getting them set up with a business. Because if you do the math, and you know what it takes to get someone in, the same amount of volume you would get with 100 people, you could get with 10 people.
True.
Right?
Yes.
How hard is it to get 100 people in versus 10 people? So if they can do it, make sure they do it as a business. And if they can't, that's fine. This can be done by everyone. So I'm not saying don't do that. Just don't miss out on the people that can do more and get them to do more, right? Because it's in their own best interest. So we've got our money. Now, here's the great part. There's no interest and there's no threat of default. So every dime you make, you keep. You're not giving that back to the bank. You could be 2 years into this, you're not losing it. Nobody's taking it away from you. Does that sound like a little bit better of a deal? Yes. All right. Now, when you look at this, the other thing I want you to consider is just looking at the rules of economics. Now, if you expect to make a lot of money, you do need to put in a lot of money. Now, the difference between us and them is they're going to go get a loan for $500,000. You're going to get 100 friends that put in $5,000. And you're going to put in your $5,000, right? So you find 100 people to do this, all of a sudden you have a business that has a $500,000 investment.
Yep.
Now that sounds like a business that can make money. And you've only put in $5,000 and you have no interest and no threat of default. Again, which one sounds better to you?
So nice.
All right? Now what do your working hours look like? You know what? There's no avoidance. You still got to work. This does not happen by itself. But let me tell you a couple something. You get this team of 100 people in this example, and say they're working 20 hours a week because they're in between full-time and part-time. We're going to average that out. And all of a sudden you got 2,000 hours a week being worked in your business? Wow. Woo! Well, so I've got a $500,000 investment. I got 2,000 hours a week being worked in my business. I'm not paying anybody. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do the work. We're going to build a team to help us do it, and there's going to be thousands of hours involved in that. So we have a real business here. All right. Now I'm telling you, it takes finding people. I mean, Calvin talked about it earlier. Everybody's talking about this. This is a numbers game. You just have to talk to a lot of people. I mean, we're not trying to convince anyone to do something they don't want to do. We're just trying to find the people that want what we've got. And so you just have to talk to a lot of people to find those people. So you can spend all your time saying, this guy's perfect. And this guy, if he ever could do it, I'm going to spend all my time trying to convince him to do it, and you'll bury yourself. No, you just talk to 100 people, find they're like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted. It's a lot easier. You just have to get used to talking to people all the time. So if you had 100 oysters, and you knew there was 5 pearls in there, would you be shocked at them? Yep. Yeah, you just got to go through it. Find the pearls among all those oysters that are out there. All right, so you got your team and vacation. Oh my gosh, why did that just go past my cool picture? There we go. And that's what, vacation in this business, it's a requirement. All right? You are not doing your job if you are not on vacation with your team. Does that sound better than the other guy?
Yeah.
You have a responsibility to go to Dubai. You have a responsibility to go to Hawaii. If you're not doing it, you're letting everybody down. All right? So that's what our business looks like. And so we have a great time doing it together. And then sleep. And sleep's one of my favorite things because we have an international business here. And I'm going to put a concept in front of you I want you to think about. So you've got a team overseas. You know, Calvin's been working over there in Europe a lot. We've got Chinese teams, we've got teams all over. So you go to bed, and they're waking up, they're working. So what does that mean? The longer you sleep in, the richer you are when you wake up.